Hey guys, I haven't been here in a while, and today I just kind of wanted to go over the concept of like self-love and why it's so important. I'm just gonna go into one factor of it because there's a lot, and that would be like a 30-year-long video, to be honest, because self-love doesn't really stop. Like it continues throughout your whole life. It's almost like a habit that you build, that you just start to really enjoy, start to really want and like love and feel fulfilled from. But today I took a final exam at 7:30 this morning. But previous to that, I woke up at 5 a.m. and I was super exhausted, super nauseous. I threw up, I was super sick. When I went to my final exam, I couldn't concentrate on it. I was really tired. I was really sick. Like, it was just awful. I felt like throwing up as I was taking the exam. But I got through it. And, I was thinking that everything this morning kind of fell apart to a degree. Like, even though it didn't really fall apart that much, it felt like everything was somewhat collapsing for me. And as I was going home and thinking about it, I was like, ugh, this is just so unfortunate. Because you really can prepare for everything. You can prepare for the test, or you can prepare for like where you're gonna sit and what pencil you're gonna bring, extra lead. As prepared as you'd like to be, you still won't master everything. Like, I would have never predicted I was gonna be sick right before my exam and just wake up super congested. But through that thought, I was kind of like bashing it. I was like kind of being negative on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this isn't working out. Like, I'm probably didn't get a good score, blah, blah, blah. And I realized that maybe it was supposed to happen like that. I really don't know. Maybe I was intended to get sick. That way, it would force me to go through the test and choose different answers than what I would usually choose. Maybe I chose the right things, and we won't know until I get my grade back. But in this time where I could choose to be delusional in a negative way and regress on my thinking and then get really anxious and pent up and even more frustrated, even though finals week is now over for me, I'm gonna choose, instead of being negative and thinking that I failed everything, I passed everything, And although I know a lot of people, I would personally argue that even positive delusion could be negative to a degree because it just leaves room for disappointment. I'd like to go against that. And the one thing I want to say against that is that everything in the end is really intended for you. Like, you might be talking to a guy you really want, that you really like, you find as a really great suitor, but he may not be what you need. You may be going to school for a degree in dental hygiene that you're not really passionate about, you fail it. That's because it wasn't meant for you. And I'm starting to realize that things that don't work out for me, that don't click, because everything is about click. Everything is about what works for you will work for you. If it didn't work for you, it never did, period. If you're trying to force a relationship, if you're trying to force a habit, a habit could be forced, but still, you still have to progress into it. With things like this, where I think, oh my gosh, the world is collapsing, this is not going my way, I have to still keep a positive mindset and realize it could come, but it also could not come. It's a realistic scenario with still a little bit of positive delusion. Because we already know what's going to happen if I fail my exam. I just retake the class. Well, technically, in this case, I have a good enough grade where I wouldn't have to retake it. But for instance, if someone else, they fail the test, they're going to have to retake it. But that is not the end of the world. My hair looks kind of crazy, but whatever. It's not going to be the end of the world. Like, nothing it's not, the world isn't going to explode in your face just because you failed one test. You know, it's also the same thing with a guy. The world is not going to explode just because your best suitor didn't choose you. It's not the end of the world because you gained an extra pound one day. It's not the end of the world because I got really sick right before my final. Yes, it is a factor, but that doesn't mean I have to change my whole view into this negative belief that suppresses my own feelings and opinions and makes me super anxious. Instead of spending this time negatively thinking about it, I'd like to think, hopefully, I did good. Why not just leave it at that? If it's still eating at you inside, meditate. Meditate, work it out, go to the gym. If you like to smoke, smoke and then go to the gym. That's a really good activity. I would prefer that. If you like to draw it out. Draw out your fears and your hopes. And I wanted to talk about this as a form of self-love today, like choosing to view it from a positive angle. Because if you always looked at things from a negative angle, you would learn to hate everything. If you're constantly degrading your environment, you're going to constantly degrade yourself, because then nothing is perfect. Nothing is worth it for you. You can say, oh, I gained a pound today, but you know what? That's okay, because I know I'm going to work it off tomorrow. Or I know it's going to fall off. Or it's just my butt. It grew too big overnight. Why not just be sarcastic about it? Just say it as a joke. Brush it off. Or just be positive about it. Be like, oh, that's okay. Be graceful with yourself. And through this last few weeks that I haven't posted, I've been really trying to embalm this, and it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's difficult. It really is difficult, because it forces yourself to be aware 24/7. It forces yourself to be conscious of what thoughts are streaming into your head and which ones to pick out and pay attention to. It's a very complex process, and it takes a lot of effort, but I realize it's really worth it at the same time. The affirmation, everything works in my favor, is a form of self-love. And that might be like kind of hard to wrap your head around, because it's just a saying. It's not like saying like, I love myself, oh, I'm so pretty, blah, blah, blah. It's saying that your future is going to be there for you no matter what you do. This is the end goal. You might go here, oh, you might go there, you might go here. Any way you go, up, down, left, right, you're going to end up back here to your future, to what you want. That is a form of self-love, because it keeps you ambitious, ignited, motivated to keep pushing yourself to do what you know is going to make you happy in the end. And if you keep choosing these positive thoughts, this positive momentum, it's going to propel you forward into believing yourself and actually doing it. If I want to learn how to do a backflip and I'm too scared to even do the backflip, if I say, oh, I'm so stupid, I'm just not going to do it, do you think I'm ever actually going to do a backflip? No, I'm not going to do a backflip, because I just gave up on it by viewing a negative thought and choosing to actually believe it and absorb it. But if I say, I'm really scared, but I'm going to take baby steps. I'm going to try and like expand it as long as I can. I'm going to start by just simply jumping high enough to do a backflip. Boom. I like jumped 2 feet higher. Okay. That's still a goal. That's still, that brought me up here. The end goal's here. I can only go here. Like, that's really it. You just need one more thing. You need the padding and the flip. And it's terrifying. You might need to have another person to hold you accountable for it. You might need a support system to pad you when you fall. You might need the actual garments, or the proper garments, or the proper makeup to make you even feel confident to do it. It's like you're in that phase. It's that lip gloss that switches you into that persona. And with choosing whatever helps you lock in or get into that mindset of just choosing the positive will continue to propel you. And I really do think the affirmation, everything works in my favor, is a significant form of self-love. Like, I'm going to keep restating that probably throughout this, or as long as I've said it. But it's one thing that you really do need to involve in your life. And the biggest part about it too is that it's going to keep propelling you through the failures. So if I did, for instance, fail my final exam, I say, okay, well, I tried, positive. I did my best, positive. And now I know better to do better. In that statement, in those 4 statements, I didn't say I was stupid or ugly or that I'm a failure and I'll never get it right. I said, I will do it. I'll say I failed from it. Acknowledgement. I failed from it. I'll do better from it. And I'll put it into practice. And that's really it. And it's difficult. It's scary. I'm not going to say it's not scary. But it is the thing that's going to make you happier. Because why would I want to spend all this time stressing, feeling a knot in my stomach? And I get really bad anxiety personally. I'll be so anxious, I wake up in fetal position and I won't be able to move for 30 minutes. That's it. I'm frozen in place because I'm so afraid to start the day. But with a positive mindset where it's thinking, today may be rough, but I know I can get through it and I'll find something good out of it, whether it's by force or by natural energy that gets attracted to me. It already gives you something to kind of look forward to. It already forces you to try and prove that belief. Go for the positive thing. Focus on the positive thing and really try and focus on showing the love to yourself through that by showing that you can do it. That you can make it work for you. That was my main topic for today. In summary, it is about repeating the affirmation, performing the affirmation, and forcing yourself to believe in it. It's not easy. It really is not. I'm not going to say it's a piece of cake. I'm not going to fake it to you and say I stepped in dog poop. Wow, this is so great. Oh, it's raining and I just got my hair done. I'm not going to lie to you and be oh, that's magnificent. No, you got your hair done. It rained. But it's also just hair. And we can make you look pretty again the next day. You can clean your shoe, go clean it off, maybe buy a new pair of shoes if you really need to. But you're just still gonna have a shoe. It's really just what it is. And you move on from it. And you choose to believe, you choose to recognize, believe, and follow through with not stepping in dog poop again or checking the weather app before you go out with your hair done. You know? It's a process of trial and error, even through the belief. But in the end, now you look forward to something else. Because now you know you're never going to step in dog poop again. Because now you're more aware. Or you're never going to go out with your hair done if it's going to rain, because now you know better. It makes you more aware, and it's obviously going to make your life better in the future because now you're not going to do it. You're not going to do that annoying thing that happens out of inconvenience through this implemented positive mindset. I hope this made sense to a degree. But if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. My storage was full, but I just want to say that I hope you guys had a great week and continue to stay positive through any trials you're going through, especially through finals week, and that you guys got this. Have a blessed day.